So, hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of STEMI Conversations. STEMI Conversations is basically a podcast where we talk about STEM and ICT and the careers in which people can have in it. So, today I will be your host, Kenita Roberts, and alongside me I have Bradley Downer. Today we have a very special guest, and his name is Mr. Raffique Muir. Mr. Raffique is a electronics and software engineer specializing in robotics, IoT, embedded systems, and software applications. He graduated from UE Mona with a degree in electronics and BSc. Prior to attending UE, he diploma in electrical and electronics engineering at UTech. During his time at UTech, Raffique distinguished himself as a leader of the UTech IEEE hardware robotics team, later transitioning to the role of student chair the following year. He also attended St. Jago High School, raised in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Raffique later relocated to St. Andrew during his teenage years. Currently, he serves as a robotics instructor and entrepreneur at HEART NSTA NTE, National Tools and Engineering Institute. Raffique's journey into robotics and engineering began early, fostered by his passion for problem solving and helping others. While in robotics team, they entered regional robotics competitions overseas, gaining valuable experience that shifted his sight into the technology field in the modern age. After some time, Raffique found himself balancing being a full-time student with holding a full-time job with flexible hours requiring adept time management skills to juggle academics and his career. His father, an electronics technician, played a pivotal role in shaping Raffique's passion towards electronics. Growing up, Raffique often found himself tinkering with circuits and fixing devices on his own. Inspired by his father's expertise, Raffique's alma mater taught him that there is always a way forward, a mantra he carries with him in both his personal and professional pursuits. He believes in the potential of Jamaica to improve and benefit from implementing robotics in various sectors, including agriculture, factory production, logistics, and defense. He envisions integration of advanced navigational systems like SLAM, which means simultaneous localization and mapping, and artificial intelligence to drive innovation and efficiency. Even through his own failures, Raffique maintains a pragmatic approach, understanding that worrying over mistakes is futile. Instead, he focuses on immediately creating a plan to learn and improve, embodying resilience and determination in the face of challenges. Welcome, Mr. Victor STEMI Conversations, and it is a pleasure to have you here. How are you doing today?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm doing very well today. I'm glad it's almost the end of the week now.
Yes, it's basically the weekend. So I loved your bio and I loved everything that it had to do with, and I felt like it was very inspirational. And I hope that our viewers, can find that inspiration in it. So for your career, I want you to give our viewers like a day in the life of your career. What does it look like? What happens? Just give us the whole breakdown.
Okay, so I'll have to tell you the two side as an instructor and the entrepreneurship side. So as an instructor, you have to prepare your lesson plan, your notes, and then when it comes to the robotic side, you have to make sure that your material is ready for the students, meaning that they have the equipment there, you show them a robot or a goal that they would make. Sometimes you don't put a goal there, you would allow them to create their own inventions. We have a field that they would test and they'd come back, something might not work. I don't really give them the answer because you can't always give the students, but you kind of tease it in front of them. And when they finally figure it out on their own and they come back very happy, saying, sir, look, I found it, that really makes my day as a teacher. And then marking assignments, doing tests. I would say the regular teacher life, but with Heart being heavily involved in robotics now, getting into that field, there are times as an instructor where I have to be on missions or on the road doing demos, demos at different high schools or different events to showcase that this is what we're now offering at Heart, and just trying to introduce to the industrial sector, the economy, that we can slowly start to shift towards using more innovative technology in our industry. That would be for the instructor side. For the entrepreneurship side now, I am a bit more into the software side of robotics at current moment. So it would be long days around my computers, programming. Then afterwards, when that program is finally finished, we'd upload it to maybe the robot, the drone, whatever machine we have, and then on the field to test. So it's short time on the field, but long hours on the computer.
Okay. And given your career, which is teaching or instructor and entrepreneur, my next question would have been how is, STEM integrated into those fields? But of course, you already work directly with it to teach the science, the maths, the technology, the engineering, all those concepts just to ensure that your students um grasp it. And also, well, of course, you have to apply it to your business. Sorry, the noise. Yeah, of course, you have to apply to your business to produce a product for your clients. So my next question is, if you weren't into the teaching and into the entrepreneurship, where do you think you would have been, or what do you think you would have been doing?
I think I would have either been in a factory trying to speak, either being the boss or speaking with the boss. Let's automate this process. I can transform this machine into something bigger that'd be more cost effective, be more innovative, would make everybody's life a bit easier. I think I see myself there, or also trying to bring more drones into Jamaica, or we can use them in agriculture.
Okay, so it sounds like you've always been drawn to this particular field, the STEM, the ICT, the innovation. It sounds like, you've always been in that area. So, how has your career journey been so far?
It has its ups and downs. I could say it's not easy. Starting off, I worked at Vim Enterprise as a electronics technician. Vim Enterprises, they make customer queuing systems, meaning the systems you may have the bank that customers have tickets and they'd be called to the specific station or teller to um, be serviced. You would have a screen telling that ticket number to come. And from there now, I started to do more software, and I would take my knowledge of robotics that I was also doing in school at the same time and using those processes to better the products that we made at BIM Enterprise. From there, I worked in several projects for teaching robotics students from KB Robotics to STEM projects in primary and high schools as well. I got in touch with the competition teams to work on building the robots. And from that point on, I started to focus a lot in artificial intelligence as well. Just to make sure I'm still on the question, could you repeat what the question was?
Yes, so I was asking, how has your career journey been?
Okay. Through all of that I just listed, I could say none of it has been particularly easy. Every step had its own challenges, its setbacks. There are times when you would feel very discouraged because solving a problem sometimes takes longer than you could imagine. And sometimes you feel like giving up, but there are times when that spark of ingenuity would come where you just know the answer. There are times when you have to do research, you have to be using Google, online research for hours, days upon days until you can find. And it is difficult going through that. But believing that there must be a way how you can solve this problem or how you can fix it is what kept pushing me forward until you would reap the benefits, knowing that the happiness that you gain from actually solving something that would keep the journey going, that would keep you happy on continuing this journey.
Okay, and I like that you identified that the journey is not easy. Of course, there will be challenges, and it's just a matter of sticking through it, remaining consistent, remaining positive about it, and pushing through, especially if you are passionate about it. And based on our conversation so far, I know that this is something that you are passionate about. My next question is, what does success look like for you?
Well, getting the robot to move where you want to, but that's an easy answer.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, success for me is broken down into different stages, where the milestone, getting something to work like the robot moving or getting a concept proven. Normally, an idea starts in the mind and you break down if it's actually feasible or practical to implement. That's the first step. From you can reach to that point, it's a step-by-step process where you know I've created this product or this service, whether it's a robot, software that we're making, and when I actually see it working, even before we would deliver it to a client, knowing that something that I or my team made feels like you're making your own small mark on history. And then now to when you can actually see your product working somewhere via your client's feedback or you going in to check on yourself, that to me is success on its own. That it's not necessarily even about the business of profit and income, but to know that you can actually make something and it works is the success to me.
Okay, and success definitely looks different for everyone. And one thing I noticed is that your success was very focused on, I'm gonna say the product itself or the thing that you're focused on versus, where you are in life in general. So I thought that was a very interesting slant to take.
Well, that is very important as well. That's very
Okay,
important.
so would you like to
I
touch on that?
Yes, I would. I find that um, going along in my career, there are different roles I took on. Initially, it was more of the engineer working and solving the issues. And moving along to more the team leader or heading projects, would have to become the manager of the different skill areas to put them together. And then afterwards, you'd have to move from necessarily the product, but if the product actually makes money. And In terms of the ability to create or invent something, that part gives me pride knowing that, it works. But the other component, if something works, if it's not making money, is there a point in making it? If it's for learning your own skill development, then yes. But if you're doing the robotics career, you want to profit off it as well, because it's not an easy field, I can say. But in terms of financials concerning it, it is important. It is not necessarily, I find there's a separation that you're happy to be able to create and invent. It's pride that you have a skill that is unique, separate from the success of earnings. Earnings now is, to me, a total different feeling. It feels very good. It makes you know that you are able, something that you're able to create or work on can generate income. So it's, for me, two different feelings.
Okay, and thank you for touching on that aspect of success. So, what do you think about networking and building relationships as it relates to your field of study or your career path?
It is very, very important. I can say that no man is an island. I can share that one of my habits, I would say maybe a bad or good habit, I used to be a all-man team and I would try to take on everything myself. But going along, that kind of that kind of approach to work, you cannot utilize it when you have a goal and you have set deadlines and constraints that you need to meet. So, firstly, you have to be able to work with people, you want to cooperate with them in terms of networking. When it comes to robotics now, just being involved, talking to people. Sometimes people would approach you for business and want to share ideas and think that how your knowledge could apply to their idea. And that kind of networking, meeting people, create opportunities. There may be an opportunity example down by the logistics center, by Wharf. Maybe they want to improve their system, or maybe in the factories, they want some new type of innovation to make this process easier, but they don't know how to go about it. And reaching out and talking or telling people about your services can create that link as well. I ask people when it comes to academics and at school, at the institution, when people are coming to talk to me, I make it a point to try and reach out so we can dialogue about these things. And it also will help you or help anybody in their career when they're trying to network, because let's face it, a link is a link and it's good to have.
It sounds like us in Guyana. We love to have links. Yes, links honestly help. And I agree with you in terms of what you were saying. Networking is so important, and it's a trend that we see in our semi conversations. People are always stressed about, networking, forming good relationships, and it it's like a bridge to moving forward. As you said, no man is an island, so you always need help. And that is something I am learning, something that I have to make a special effort to network and to make, fruitful connections because sometimes it's difficult. Um, so yeah, special effort. So I'm happy to hear your point of view on it. This is the penultimate question that I have for you. And I want to ask, what do you enjoy most about your field of work?
I I would say the moment when something starts working, the moment when the robot is or the machine is starts to operate for the first time. The first time it works, it's like, you know, the child that you've been trying to take care of so long finally finally comes to life or shows itself to me, that moment itself, all the hard work, all the dedication finally is paying off. To me, that really hits.
I agree. Um, Probably about 4 years ago, I used to work directly with robots or building robots. We used to use this MRT3 kit. And basically, you had to build it from scratch. You had to program it, and it works. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does work. But when it finally works, it just feels so good that, this project you were working on for so long is finally completed. And I was usually like a coach to the students. So just, them building it out and then being able to like help them pull it to life or bring it to life and seeing them happy and with work and like, oh yes. It's a very euphoric feeling. It's a very good feeling. The last question that I have for you is what advice would you give to young adults who want to pursue your career path?
Could you repeat for me? The connection broke a little bit.
Yes, no problem. So my last question for you is, what advice would you like to give to young adults who wish to pursue your career path?
Okay, so I'll break it down into a few points that if you're starting academically in high school, pursue science subject around maths, physics, computer science, or any available electronics, if you have the opportunity to do so. But aside from subjects in school, you have online research and studies such as tutorial videos on YouTube. You can go to the great Google University. You can Google a lot of the information you need, self projects, look up hobbies websites, and you have a lot of friendly users that will share information. You have hands-on experiences, whether it's trying to fix your own appliances or buying and working on development kits such as Arduino or Raspberry Pi that come with different components, and you can use this to help teach yourself how to get into the field.
Yes, definitely. There's also YouTube University. So
Yes,
yeah, def
I'm seeing a pro graduate.
yeah. Yes, definitely being I want to say self-enthusiastic about it. That drive to want to know more, go and look for more information would definitely help you to propel into a positive direction.
I would
So,
I would just like to share for the viewers that although I have a degree, that is the foundation for electronics and computer science. I would say a lot of my step in towards the robotics field was self-taught. So I want
mhm,
everybody to understand that the online research that self-study really can go a far way. So even
mhm.
if you don't necessarily have the academic background, it will not hold you back from getting into the field.
Okay, yes. And that is a very, very valid point. That's very valid. Okay. Well, thank you for joining STEMI Conversations. It has been a pleasure speaking with you and learning more about what you do within the STEM field. And we do look forward to connecting with you in the future. I would like to encourage our viewers to visit STEMI Conversations on our different platforms, such as Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, on or as STEMI Conversations. So thank you once again, and do have a blessed rest of your evening. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you and same to you.
Okay, stop recording.